Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And today we have an extremely important update on the crypto prices. So yes guys, today has been a really interesting day with quite a lot of crypto doing really good over the hour but neutral over the daily. And guys, I have told you already, this Friday there's a couple of really important things happening that everybody is watching out for right now. And that is also why I think the prices right now are a little bit more on the indecisive side. So what is going on? Well guys, Fed officials initially expected a 2021 price pop to fade quickly as supply chains unsnarled and factories work through backlogs. What we're talking about obviously is the threat that is looming. Let's not talk about this little thing that shall not be named too much. Inflation limits the Fed's room to maneuver, but I could digress. Let's continue on. So instead, inflation has been climbing at its fastest pace in more than 3 decades, and fresh data set for release on Friday are expected to show that the ascent continued as a broad swath of products, like streaming services, rental housing, and food, had higher prices. Given that, Mr. Powell and his colleagues, and here is where it comes, have pivoted to inflation fighting mode, trying to ensure that they are poised to respond decisively should price pressures persist. Mr. Powell said last week, and again this is where all the pressure came from this statement, that officials would discuss speeding up their plans to taper off their bond buying program. Markets are very often afraid for these types of scenarios. Now, as of this point, we don't know if it's going to be a good or bad announcement. And by the way, one of the nicest places where you could just check the different important trading days, this is mostly for Forex people. If you're into Forex, you probably know this already, is actually tradedays.com or Tradays, whatever. I've used this for a very long time. And one of the things you can do is just scroll down to Thursday or Friday, for example, and see all the different little announcements and what the consequence is going to be for what different pair, for example, or what different currency like that. It's a very nice little thing that I just thought, hey, you guys might want to get into, for example. However, I digress. Let's continue on. So, given that Mr. Powell and his colleagues have pivoted, last week officials would discuss speeding up their plans to taper off their bond buying program, prompting many economists to expect them to announce a plan after their December meeting that would allow them to stop buying bonds by mid-March. The Fed announced early in November that it would slow purchases from $120 billion a month, making the possible acceleration a notable change. Ending bond buying early would put officials in a position to raise their policy interest rate, which is their more traditional and more powerful tool. A faster taper could set the stage for a rate hike at the March 15 to 16 meeting. And although this may be too early from a labor market perspective, even if the pace of improvement does remain rapid, Jan Hatzius, chief economist at Goldman Sachs, wrote in a research note on Monday, because he and his team think March would be premature, they expect an initial rate increase in June, though they say May is very possible. All right, point being here, this can be a really big announcement that we get this Friday. And we have seen before that announcements like this that have to do with the real money market have a very big effect over on crypto. To continue on for a little bit, guys, bond purchases help juice markets and keep money flowing to borrowers, so slowing them makes for a less additional support each month. A higher Fed interest rate would matter even more, denting asset prices and making many types of borrowing more expensive, like car loans, mortgages, and business credit. And by raising borrowing costs, the Fed could cool demand, allowing supplies to catch up and lowering prices over time. And raising rates earlier would be a trade-off. Unemployment has fallen swiftly, which is what we talked about yesterday, dropping to 4.2% in November, but nearly 4 million people are still missing from the labor market compared with just before the pandemic began. Some have most likely retired, but surveys and anecdotes suggest that many are lingering on the sidelines because they lack adequate childcare or are afraid of contracting or passing along the CV. All right, so once more, if the Fed begins to remove its support for the economy, slowing business expansion and hiring, the labor market could rebound more slowly and haltingly when and if those factors fade. So hopefully you guys kind of get what I'm trying to say here. This is an extremely important decision, and how it's going to affect the markets, we will see. But understand that this is happening within a couple of days from now, and the bigger money is watching out for this, as this is integral for the general market. We usually check that over on TradingView as well, because as you can see, every single time that there's a really big hike basically in the actual trading prices, or so I guess in the actual indices prices, you can actually see that same little thing be reflected onto crypto. Like right now, for example, most likely things are quite neutral. Yeah, so plus 0.12, down 0.03, quite neutral. The crypto market is neutral too. If this was a really negative day like we saw a couple of days ago, the crypto price is reacting the exact same way. And so that's why I linked these two things together. And that's also why I'm warning everybody for this. Now, again, it might be a really bullish day, by the way. It might be really good, but we just do not know quite yet. Having said that though, guys, I am trading right now over on Bybit. A link for that is down below, by the way. And I'm going to actually add another link down there for Prime XBT. Because right now, I believe Prime XBT actually gives you the best bonus, as I believe they give every single person who uses my link only with a little code a 50% deposit bonus. That's higher than Carl the Moon has, higher than everybody has. It's the highest freaking deposit bonus out there in the entire crypto space. And so I got to get that link down below so you guys can use that if you're a trader, because that's freaking juicy. You know, that's the best bonus that you can ever get. Having said that, so XRP right now has bounced again off of the trend line. I told you guys this a little bit earlier, I believe yesterday. It might have even been in this video. In one of these videos I told you guys yesterday, I believe XRP is going to bounce again from this trend line. I hope it does. And let's see here. If we actually did trade the trend line just now, we would be up about 4 to 5%, which means about 40 to 50% on our leverage trades over on Bybit, which is very freaking juicy. And I told you guys, I'm going to be opening up some crazier positions once we get to the more bullish territory. Because right now, medium term, we are looking pretty damn bullish, and I do like the way that things are going. But with XRP, the most difficult part is to actually get that momentum going. XRP usually is a lagger, which basically means they go after quite a lot of other cryptos have gone. And so it's more important to focus on coins like Bitcoin to determine when XRP will really rise, if we're just looking at it from a perspective of next to the lawsuit. Because obviously the lawsuit, guys, is what's, in my opinion, going to take XRP to at least $12 in 2022. But we shall see. We shall see. So Bitcoin just had a really nice bounce on a monthly perspective from the 0.5 Fibonacci level. I've been looking at that. I've been looking at Bitcoin for a very good while. Right now, from any way, shape, or form you're looking at this, Bitcoin is still in an extremely bullish market. I mean, just zoom out a little bit and look at this. You cannot tell me that this looks negative to you, it looks bearish. It just looks like we made our first top, came right back down, and now made our second top before coming back down, bouncing from the 0.5 Fibonacci, and then coming right back up here to about $80,000 or so without that much of a hassle. At least that's what sounds logical to me. It just looks that way. Most things in the crypto market are pointing that way. People are just being fearful right now because of the prices coming back down. But then again, the question comes up, do you consider that what we saw from within April, or I guess I should call May, up to, I guess, October here, do you call this bear market, or do you just call this a correction? Because in actuality, we only had about 2 real months of correction like we're seeing right now, with potentially January still being negative, before actually having 1, 2, I guess 1, 2, and then 3 months, let's say then 4 months of just positivity again. If we continue on with this little momentum every single time, nobody would complain. So the question is, do we consider this a bear market or just a good correction? And what do we consider this, a bear market or just a good correction? Now, having said that, we've also been watching from different perspectives, like the weekly, for example, and you can see that Bitcoin, in almost any way, shape, or form you'd like to look at it, still has a very upward sloping line, meaning we are just finding some very nice support here for Bitcoin at about 41,000. I think the most crucial level to get over lies at about $53,000 to $54,000 for Bitcoin. And as I've said before, I'll be opening quite a lot of positions if we actually get to that area. But right now, you cannot really tell me that things are looking negative. We're still making higher lows and higher highs consecutively. It is looking really bullish. It's just the people's thoughts that are not accepting this, but it is the way it is. You can't see this differently. It looks really extremely nice. Now, that's also, of course, why I have my long positions open. Oh, guys, no way. So a little bit early today, guys, I was actually wanting to make a little video for you guys. It's about 5 hours ago, as I basically looked at these charts. Everything you see right here, guys, I opened 5 hours ago. But what I decided to do today is actually talk to as many freaking crypto YouTubers as I can, because a lot of them are fake in terms of that they're not really good at trading, but some of these guys are so good. They're so extremely wealthy. You know, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars with trading. They're so good at what they do. I look for them to see what they're thinking of the markets, right? And I've spent literally 5 hours trying to get in contact with some of these guys and just calling. A couple of cool collaborations are coming up, by the way. I hope, because we kind of discussed that too with some of these guys. But man, oh man, are most people bullish, and almost everybody is giving the thumbs up on MATIC. So that was a couple of hours ago when the MATIC price was not doing as good as it is right now. Just wanted to say, the MATIC price is moving really interestingly. It's one of the most bullish moving coins out there in the entire freaking market. And right now we got ourselves a nice little bounce at the, I think let's quickly check this back here to see what exact move. We're having a nice little bounce at the 1.272 Fibonacci level. I do think MATIC is just going to continue on bouncing and trading towards the $3 mark without really too much of a hassle. Then again, MATIC is in a really bullish territory. If we compare it to, for example, XRP or Bitcoin, who had an extremely low RSI, where I told everybody, if you're not buying XRP at this point with this low of an RSI, it's madness. Same thing for Bitcoin. I still believe that, by the way. Bitcoin on a monthly perspective does not have a high RSI, but from the short term, it is an extremely, extremely low RSI, and it's just worth every single penny to invest in it in the next couple of days still, I believe, as the RSI is this low. But again, if you were actually buying XP when I said so, you would have already been up quite a significant amount here, I believe. Ooh, laptop is almost going empty. Wait a minute. Before we actually... that would be funny, huh? If the laptop actually breaks itself. But I guess we can kind of conclude it here real quick because I do not have that much more to say. I wanted to say MATIC is in a really bullish position in comparison to some of these other cryptos, which are more bearish in nature, but a good buy because we're getting the undervalued crypto. MATIC is in a really bullish territory, so we're basically buying the bull cycle, which is also logical. Bitcoin, as I've said, is just in a bullish, but it's a bigger picture, so you have to kind of zoom out to see it. And a couple of coins like Mana are also finding some nice support here. This coin is finding some support at the 0.382 Fibonacci level. I'm again buying Mana like a freaking madman because I believe that this sector is the most important right now in crypto. So I want to catch myself on the way up, and I do believe that within a couple of months, Mana can easily be at $7. One big event gets the Mana price back to that level, but I do believe within 4 months or so, we're going to be at $8 easily. Scratch that. 3 months as a maximum to be at $8 for Decentraland Mana. That's my goal. That's my target. Pretty easy to get done though, guys. I'm not too worried about it. And again, I have all these cryptos myself as I believe in it to the freaking core. Now, also, there's a couple of analysts who put up different XP price predictions, but listen to me when I say, guys, don't fully focus on what these guys say. Think about it logically. XRP will pop off mostly because of the lawsuit, which we can all understand. So right now, it's a little bit riskier to actually get into the coin, but still, logic would suffice to say that it's extremely undervalued in an extremely good position right now, and getting into our long positions at this point is, in terms of risk to reward, I think very freaking juicy. Having said that, guys, none of this is financial advice. At the end of the day, we can be wrong, but this is the way we're going to do it, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Make sure you check out all the links down below, like I said, and I'll see you guys again in another one.